Andrew Tate on weak men who constantly complain. Go ahead and play this clip. It says a little bit lengthy. Stop it in between and we're going to go ahead and get through it.
I don't think many people genuinely do their best in the world anymore. When I say do your best, people sit and go, oh yeah, okay. No, when's the last time you actually did your best? Like, I don't train to run marathons, but I know if I gave my best, I could run a marathon right now, first try. If I gave my best, life depending on it. When's the last time people have genuinely given their best to anything? There are people going through the world and going through life today that don't give their best or 100% effort to anything ever. Ever. They can't remember the last time they tried. So when I'm sitting in a dungeon, I'm sitting in a Romanian jail cell, I understand that it is a chance that God has given me and my ancestors are watching for me to do my absolute best and to show to them that I am the man I say I am. You can't become the most famous man in the world for mental resilience and God not test your mental resilience. I think that would be a very amateur way to view the world, that you can now become one of the most famous men in the world who talks about mental discipline and mental resilience and God's not going to test it. I think God's going to come along and say, okay, you want to be Mr. Famous. All right, let's see what you have. So I believed it was a chance to show God and show my ancestors and show my father that I am the man I say I am. And it's amazing how much strength you can draw from that, because I don't think many men especially understand that even if you don't have the strength to be a hero for yourself, you should have enough discipline and enough honor to want to be a hero for somebody else. And if you have other people you truly respect, you should want to be a hero for them. And I think that's the masculine imperative. If someone's going to attack your wife, that's when you become a hero for her. You have to. What kind of man are you if you're not? And you can apply that to other things. If you apply that to your ancestors, or you apply that to God, or you apply that to your beliefs or your core principles as a man, then you can be a hero anytime you want. So
it's so funny that you say that, because it really does. Everything goes back to biology. I think about this all the time, no matter how much sociology is behind everything, telling men to act like.
Guys, haven't already, make sure you hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We are breaking down Andrew Tate on weak men who constantly complain.
Women and women to act like men. At the end of the day, women want a masculine man. And when they don't have a masculine man and they beat their man into submission, they're not attracted to them anymore. When it's a tail in between, it's just not attractive anymore. And I used to make me think of this boyfriend that I had when you were talking about, just defending the realm, this sort of responsibility that men have. And I remember sitting there realizing that I had to break up with him, because I thought that if somebody burst through the door with a gun, I was going to have to be the one that would have to defend us, because he was just such a flower.
100%.
And it's in society is yet blaring at men to do the opposite. And I
well, they're trying to confuse us. So it's crazy how they'll attack you, and they'll attack you so violently and so endlessly and repeat it so many times in a bid to beat your soul down. That's what they want, especially from.
Just so y'all know, it's only man and woman. It's only man and woman. Nothing else exists.
Me, I truly believe I'm the #1 prize for them to get. If they can get me to just give up. If we can get Andrew Tate to just give up. Being a man's bad. Come on, Andrew, say it. And it's like, it's dangerous, one thing, but it's actually genuinely also sad. When I analyze the situation in the world we're in today, part of me feels sad that we've ended up in this place where the people who are in charge are so evil and their plans are so heinous and the consequences so dire that they know they can only implement them if they genuinely remove the warrior spirit from every man on the planet. The best way you can rebel against the slave mind and resist the matrix is just be the kind of person who uses logic, is stoic, is emotionally controlled, is physically strong, because a strong body is a strong mind, who refuses to be told or labeled as something. You can't label me as a depressed person. You can't label me as some kind of disease or some kind of personality disorder. You can't label me a color. I'm Andrew Tate. This is who I am. I work hard for my last name. I understand what's right and wrong. I'm going to do my absolute best. And that alone in and of itself is an act of rebellion against these people.
I say it over and over on the show. Everybody needs a therapist. They're talking about their feelings. The truth is that every feeling you have isn't valid, doesn't need to be explored. Sometimes you just have a wacky feeling and you just let it go. And because my grandfather was such an impact on my life, strongest man that I've ever known, didn't shed a tear at my grandmother's funeral. They were together from the time he was 17 years old until her dying day. I'm certain he collapsed when he got home.
Yeah, of course.
But this traditional display of masculinity, in my grandfather's perspective, that a man needs to let it die in his chest, before displaying this emotion, had an impact on me. And when I see, like, I guess to give a cultural example, someone like Prince Harry, you know, on TV, with his arms like this, breathing and showing what he learned in therapy, it makes me want to die a little. It makes me want to die a little when I see men acting like this.
Completely.
And that's controversial because they're supposed to say, oh my God, he's so brave. It's so stunning. Like, he's showing this side of him. Everything about Prince Harry, to me, is what a man should not be. Right?
Absolutely.
What you've done to your family, betraying your family, allowing a woman to assert that much control over you that you would, for profit, betray your family. I mean, everybody's got a family. You know, everybody's got family issues. Don't even let me get started. You know, but the idea of selling out your family and then going
the royal family, selling out the royal family.
My apologies for the lengthy, but looks like everybody enjoyed it. Andrew Tate on weak men who constantly complain. Let's go ahead and dive into it. I'm gonna go to you first, Purple Bill.
Yeah, so I really like to say, you know, I don't ever like to say a wrong unless I'm gonna say a right. You know, right afterwards. Like, I think the difference between complaining and, you know, actually doing something is or not complaining is like putting a solution up. If you're putting a solution up, I don't see that as complaining. Like, I think that's very masculine. I think it's feminine energy to complain. Like, you should never just complain, 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 complain. Shout out to some of the red pill channels, because some of them just complain, 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 complain. And then they say it's a praxeology. We're just saying facts. You know, we're not saying what to do. This isn't a prescription. And that's all feminine energy. It's so fucking, I hate that stuff more than anything in the world, because if I'm going to say that something is wrong, I'm going to also say a right. It's just it's really weird that we have like so many people in the male self-improvement space that will sit there and do that type of stuff, you know, without putting up solutions. And honestly, sometimes the best solutions, like the best prescriptions, are just in the Bible. If you look at Ephesians, if you look at Corinthians, you can find a lot of really good answers for relationships and just marriages and just how to do things the best way. And yeah, I really just want guys to understand, you're not complaining if you're putting up a solution. You are complaining if you're not putting up a solution. It's that simple. And then one is very feminine and one is very masculine. So just it's not that hard.
All right, go ahead, Shan. What are your thoughts about it? Andrew Tate on weak men who constantly complain.
I mean, what's there to discuss? Purple mad at Rolo. I can hear it in his voice. he mad at Rolo. He's trying to punch him through the mic right now. But I go to the next person, JR. I don't want to, because I talk too much already. Let's hear some other brother.
Go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, man. I think men got to do man shit at the end of the day, man. At the end of the day, nobody gives a shit about your circumstances. Any of us up here could have the worst story the world has ever seen. Nobody gives a shit. You're a man. You need to figure it out. Yeah, you know you're gonna go through your range of emotions, but while you're going through that range of emotions, you need to make shit happen. It's really just that simple.
Sean, that's toxic. That's
right,
toxic
exactly.
masculinity,
Exactly.
Sean.
Exactly right. Toxic masculinity.